Alright everyone, welcome back to Flyer News Movie Reviews, where we're going to be tackling another movie. This one's going to be an interesting one. It's Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, a sequel to my last year review where I reviewed Part 1, as well as the year before where I reviewed Catching Fire. So today we're going to be talking about my opinions on this movie. Let's get started with this review. It's Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Alright, same cast as before. It was directed by Francis Lawrence and it stars Jennifer Lawrence. It also stars Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, and the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. So what's the plot, you ask me? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I will tell you right here, right now. The plot is basically, it's continuing off from the last movie, where essentially Katniss Everdeen is now trying to take down President Snow and the entire Capitol itself. So what's going to ensue? Well, of course, a ton of action, and it's going to be this awesome revolution. We'll get into that. So to start off, how's the acting? Jennifer Lawrence, she's pretty much able to play his character in her sleep now. Josh Hutcherson, he's also pretty good. Liam Hemsworth, not the most talented of the Hemsworth brothers, but he's fine in this movie. Woody Harrelson, pretty great. Overall acting, it's passable. Special effects in this movie are also something I want to commend because they are pretty good. There's a variety of them and they're all pretty well put together. Sometimes the effects don't really hold up, especially this one really long Coliseum shot. Alright, so we finally move on to the final thoughts. My opinions. What did I think of this movie? Wow, did it drag. This movie's got very poor pacing. The majority of this film is filled with a lot of characters talking, and unfortunately, not all the time it's interesting. Sometimes characters do address interesting points like the Capitol doing its schemes or the rebellion, what they're going to do, but other times characters just talk because they need to fill up the runtime. It's really noticeable. I'm fine with a movie about talking. My favorite movie of 2014 was Whiplash, and that movie had no action. It was all about this character. This movie could have been a very well put together final act of a trilogy. But no, they had to make it a four-parter. They had to split this last one into two parts. That's just sickening to see studios and corporations taking art and making it something it's not just to extend the amount of money they can produce from it. But that's not to say there's nothing good in this movie. There's this one scene where they're in a sewer and it looks straight out of the movie Alien, and that was really fun. The characters were walking through this very tight corridor. We didn't know what was coming, and then when things finally did happen, it was really exciting and the action was cool. So that leads me to my grade, and I'm going to have to give this movie 2.75 out of 5 flyers. I know it seems harsh, but I really just can't recommend you see this in the theater. But now for my angry heads, and I'm just going to come to it and say 3 angry heads. This movie gets that for the pacing, the bland characters, and the just overall underwhelming ending. I was not a fan of this ending. It felt like we didn't even get to understand the full impact of what these characters have been fighting for the last 4 years. Alright, so that's my review for Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I'm Alex Hirsch, and this has been Flyer News Movie Reviews. Thanks for watching.